The English dub for Naruto's VA, Marie Flanagan, has gone off on Twitter. And actually, a big portion of Twitter is loving it. For example, this tweet gets over 91,000 likes saying, imagine getting called out like this by Naruto's VA. Now, I have a hunch a lot of people on Twitter are liking this because they don't like weebs, and this VA is kind of owning the weebs right here or something. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I just have an unpopular opinion on this one, but I do think Marie Flanagan made quite the spectacle of herself, and not in a good way at all. So let's take a look at those tweets. Instead of going to this image, however, that's posted on this tweet, I'm just going to go to the tweets themselves, so let's take a look. It all started with Aubrey saying, the Naruto dub is criminally underrated. And then Kieran says, I would watch the dub if it wasn't for Naruto's VA. One character ruined the dub for me, and I can't go back. And then Nick joins the conversation and does the unthinkable, actually tags the VA and says, don't ever respect at Marie Flanagan ever again. Excuse me, correction, don't ever disrespect, and it's Malie Flanagan, not Marie Flanagan. So Nick says, don't ever disrespect Malie Flanagan ever again. And then Kieran responds and says, it's not her fault the casting team did a dreadful job. Her voice just doesn't fit Naruto whatsoever. So this guy's not just hating on her. I mean, it's a little criticism, and he's also kind of defending her a little bit. I don't think he's trying to be mean necessarily. He's just responding to this tweet that Aubrey made above, right? But again, this person tags Malie. I think most people who get tagged into something like that are not going to see it, or they would ignore it. But it seems Malie Flanagan has a different approach. Here she is, saying, don't tag me in your BS. I'd love to publicly trash you in your job, but I don't want to waste my time on someone with a fake name and 93 followers. You seem to know a lot about a show you hate. Stop watching is my suggestion. But hey, happy holidays, hater. And I gotta be honest, the first time I saw that, I thought it was a parody account or someone pretending to be her. For some reason, I thought there's no way that Naruto's VA is actually going off like that, which was a silly thought, because if you were around the channel back in 2019 when we were covering all the Vic Mignogna litigation stuff, you know that we saw all number of VAs, specifically out of the Texas Funimation clique, going off saying terrible things about anime fans. In one particular case, we had a VA telling a fan that she should, I can't repeat it, but essentially she should Minecraft herself. If you don't know what I mean by that, imagine playing Minecraft and going up to the creeper and letting it explode and not moving. Yeah, that's what he was basically telling her to do. Anyways, I'd just like to point out where Malie says she would love to publicly trash someone in their job. That just seems unnecessarily mean. Why would you want to do that to somebody? Like, even if the service is bad or something, those people are getting paid minimum wage or barely above that. So you shouldn't expect like perfection. And if you want to argue saying, well, she's getting some criticism here for her job, well, a big difference. She's in some way a public figure, an entertainer. She's somewhat putting herself in the public spectacle. This Twitter account of hers is not a private account. You know, she's mentioning that she's an actor, the voice of Naruto and all that. So yeah, when you are in that sort of position, you should reasonably expect that you're going to receive some public commentary on your work. And that's how it is. That's one of the cons, if you want to call it a con, or even a benefit in some respects, a con or a benefit depending on your outlook, of having that sort of role or that sort of work. And then finally she says, oh, hold on, there's also this. I don't want to waste my time on someone with a fake name and 93 followers. So she'll drag the guy for having, for not being as well known as she is, and using an anonymous account on his Twitter, and drag him for his follower account. Are you kidding me? And then says, but hey, happy holidays, hater. So the reason I want to mention that part is because I already said, I think most people wouldn't respond unless, you know, apparently they're out of the Texas Funimation clique of VAs. They probably would respond. So that on top of the holidays, it's like, man, I can't believe she responded to this, and in this way. But it continues. Felon then chimes in and says, lol, you made the guy more than double his follower count. Let a dude have an opinion. And Malie says, and I can't have an opinion of what he said? Should I come on your feed and crap all over your job and then tell you to let it go? Dude, LOL. And if I comment too much on that, I'm just going to repeat what I already said about her arguably being a public figure on a level and getting all mad over one random person's take on Twitter, who was also kind of defending her in a way too. Hypothetically, even if the dude said, yeah, I hate all her work, she's terrible, I mean, that shouldn't even faze her. Why does she care so much? It's just so weird. Look at this, man. It gets even crazier. So this person, Shinobi, then says, he didn't come to your feed, though. The person defending you was the one who tagged you and brought you to the discussion. I'll stop there and say, the person who was criticizing her was also kind of defending her because, again, he said, well, she's not the one who, she was saying the casting people are the one who picked her, right? So this guy then says, he didn't even mention your name. Meili then says, pretty sure he meant me when he said Naruto VA and left me in the group to see it, which I did and responded to. So there's a little confusion here. I think they're talking about the person who tagged her, which is different than the person who criticized her work a little bit. One of them's confusing the two, I think, or I'm reading this wrong. Whatever, let's continue. She says, and left me in the group to see it, which I did and responded to it. Looks like Naruto is good enough for you, but it seems contradictory to defend someone who says the how I ruined it when your profile pic is Naruto related. Guys, let's stop there for a moment and take a breath. Not that we're going crazy. It's just, this is crazy. That's why I say, look at this. I can't believe this is real. She's essentially saying that if you like Naruto, if you have a Naruto profile picture, you're obligated to defend her. I mean, let's read it one more time. That's crazy. That's why I say let's stop and take a breath and read this again. Looks like Naruto is good enough for you, but it seems contradictory to defend someone who says the how I ruined it when your profile pic is Naruto related. Oh my gosh. She actually said that. My mind is broken right now slightly. Someone, just because they like Naruto, doesn't mean they have to literally worship you, Meili. What is going on here? Again, how is this even real? I think we have like one more exchange on this thread, so to speak, and then I'm going to move on and show you the place where she went off from like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. So now she's getting some backlash. This person, Plant, says, that's really mature, going after the person stating their opinion that didn't say you did a bad performance and just said your voice didn't fit the character for them. They didn't tag you, some random guy did, and they didn't untag you because they were lazy or something. Meili says, I didn't go after him. I responded accordingly to his insults. You know, that line about me ruining the show and being miscast, I found it insulting. Wouldn't you? No, I wouldn't. And this is anecdotal here, but there's people that criticize my work every single day. Every video I make, there's some people that dislike it. That's life. Like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just the way it is. Get over it. That's all I can say. She then says, and they didn't need to include me. This is tiring. See ya. So to be fair to Meili here, and I'm probably just being too nice here to say to be fair, but I do think she's kind of confused about the chain of conversation. Would that really make a difference? Probably not. Maybe she'd even be more mad if I think she's a little bit confused here, so I'm gonna factor that in my opinion at least. Still, I think she's way out of line overall. I'm just saying I think she's slightly confused as well, so make of that what you will. She then says, this is tiring, see ya, and I do believe that's the end of it. However, we'll read this from Chaotic Cat, who says to Meili, you did go after him, and his follower count. I have 78,000 more followers than you on Instagram. What's your point bringing up his follower account? Oh, well, you know, she's going to dodge that one. No response, of course. Now, finally, let me take you back to September 16th. When I'm getting way too amused by this. I can't wait to show you guys the tweet. Oh my gosh, it's coming right up. Okay, let me try this again. Viz Media says from September 16th, believe it, Naruto Set 1 comes to Blu-ray on November 3rd, 2020. And then Spin Dash says, why does it say 16:9 on the back? We've been dealing with this garbage with DBZ and Funny. I think it says Fun. I think that's Funimation because Funimation has had a lot of criticism for their DBZ releases and Blu-ray and all that. And they say, for almost 15 years, please don't do this with Naruto. William then says, they're going to mess it up as always. Believe it. You know, quoting that Naruto quote, believe it, and like memeing a little bit, kind of joking around. So a little bit of a joke, a little bit of a meme, and legitimate criticism for a poor product from a company that's owned by a mega corporation. Sony owns Funimation. I think it's absolutely reasonable for the fan to want a better product. Totally reasonable. Meili has a different opinion on that one too, though. Here she is, Meili Flanagan, not a parody account. This is her. And she says, 5 question marks in a row. Don't get it? But hey, I can always delete you. Good day. What? I can always delete you? What do you mean by that? Now I can make a joke here, you know, saying she means something crazy extreme, but I don't think she meant it like that. Maybe she just meant she's going to block them or something. I mean, that's crazy though. Legitimate criticism here to improve your product. Meili, you know what you should have said here? Either nothing or, You know what? That's a fair point. I'll try to get that message to someone who can make a better product for us. You're supposed to have connections with these people, right, Melee? Why don't you help the fans get their message to the people that can make it better? And guess what? That would also be better for Funimation and them. They would then get better goodwill and a better product. And look, I don't want to be the person to help Funimation. I'm just pointing it out. This response doesn't help anyone, especially you. Looks terrible, in my opinion at least. So, look, there's a response here from William now. And actually, Vu says just because you don't understand aspect ratio doesn't mean you have to be defensive about it. They're not being hateful towards you in any way. They're just stating the quality won't look good. William also says she doesn't get it because we don't want the 16:9 ratio. We want the original 4:3. But yes, you can delete me. I'm not going to cry Dragon Ball is better anyway. Believe it. And then Melee says, wow, so hateful. See ya. Enjoy trolling somewhere else. I'm going to sound like a broken record in this video. Sometimes I do, because the stuff we read sometimes, you know, man, it's baffling. It truly is baffling, some of the stuff that people put out there on the internet, especially public figures or whatever. And that's really the video. I think that's the end of this. I'm going to need a glass of water after this, man. You're really taking what just occurred here. That's crazy stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. And yeah, I'll look forward to reading the comments on this one, man. Wow. Anime dubbing VAs are great, aren't they? Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.